Welcome to another episode of Tier Maker List Fridays, whatever the hell I'm calling this. These games are the action games. So let's make an action game tier list, shall we not? I'm going to go ahead and start from the bottom of this time. So let's start with Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise. Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise is a great game, and the people who made Yakuza make this game, so it is a great fit for it. So I'm going to put this as an S tier because I love Fist of the North Star and I love Yakuza. It was a great fit. Now, the Japanese Yakuza games that took place in the past, this one is pretty much Yakuza with swords, so I had to put that as an A, and the only way you can play that normally is, Resident Evil 6 is one of the worst Resident Evils of all time, and if I honestly can be completely honest in this list, I'm gonna have to put that here. It had almost no redeeming qualities for it, and it was just bad. Okami, I have to put it as triple S tier. What happens when you take the Zelda formula and change it to art and do everything you can with it? You get Okami. It's actually a really good game. Onimusha 2. Oh my goodness. That is automatically an S tier. I actually love this game. I didn't think I would like it when I first got it and played it, because the main character isn't the character from the first game, Samanosuke, and I loved it. Onimusha 3. I loved Onimusha 3. It's just I didn't like it as much as I like 1 or 2. It was still a great game in its own right, but I couldn't. What's it called? Like it's borderline A tier, but I'm gonna have to keep it at the B just to be fair. Onimusha Dawn of Dreams was not great. It was this D tier at best. Mainly D tier because it deserved everything. It did have some of the most updated visuals and everything, but everything else about it was just straight up boring. Fury is an S tier type of game. You have to be quick, fast, and use that dash, man, or you are not going to make it. Onimusha 1, triple S tier game. Automatically, it was a really fantastic game, especially if it going back in time and trying to play it and playing it on the remastered edition. You will have fun with this game, trust me. Zone of the Enders, the second runner. I'd have to say that's an S tier type of game because it finally, culminates from the story with Anubis and of course Jehuti. It was pretty fun playing these games, and it did, have the best mech combat in any game for me. And Zone of the Enders, the first one, I'm going to put it as A tier. While it has some things that were off about it, the part 2 is the one that fixed everything off about the first one and enhanced it completely. Spider-Man Web of Shadows. Come on, guys. I'd say this is C tier. While it has some good things about the game and quality, it just everything else about the game was kind of bad. The Bouncer is a bad game. I'd say it has some things about it that were good, but like to say that it really isn't a great game at all. Sonic Unleashed. So for a lot of people, Sonic Unleashed, people don't like the night stages, but I do. They actually had moves and stuff that kept me thoroughly entertained throughout the game. So I'm going to put Sonic Unleashed as a B tier type of game. It's not B tier for everybody, and I can see why people put it as like a C or D tier. But for me, personally, I'm going to put that as a B tier. The game was pretty fun for me, and I can't see why people didn't like it. Man, I can see, but I just couldn't. I can't get with it. Nightshade, it's this Shinobi, but with Nightshade, and like I said, it was okay. I would put it as C as well. And speaking of Shinobi, the PS2 version, I also put it as C. They were both good games. It's just I wouldn't classify them as perfect. Darksiders 2 is an improvement upon the first one in every way, so I have to put that as an S tier type of game. It was pretty fun, and it was more roguelike than the first one. While the first one was a fact Legend of Zelda but hardcore, and still was a great game because of it. Just like how Okami took the formula of Legend of Zelda and made it its own, so did Darksiders, and it was pretty fun. Darksiders 3, I didn't think I would like this game, but I do like the game a lot. It's just I wish there was another Darksiders for the other Horsemen, but instead we have to probably wait a little bit for that one. But I did like part 3, and I like the character who grew from something I hated to somebody I actually liked and being my favorite. Castlevania Lords of Shadow. A lot of people don't like Lords of Shadow. they don't like it. I do. I like the first Lords of Shadow more than I like the second one, and it was pretty fun, overall. Transformers Devastation. Transformers Devastation is a damn good game, a damn good attempt at taking the Transformers franchise and making a good game out of it. So I have to say it's a B tier at best. The music and everything is great. The game though is actually really short. You could probably beat it in like 5 minutes. That's a joke, obviously, but it was still a fun game. Legends of Korra from Platinum Games. This is one of the games where I honestly say Platinum could not save it, and just because it had Platinum name on it doesn't mean it's a good game. Killer is Dead. Killer is Dead is one of the most psychedelic games I've ever played, and I have to honestly say it's an A tier game. It's a great game, great twist ending and everything. Final boss is one of my favorite final bosses in a game like this. Yakuza 0, S tier automatically. Go play Yakuza 0 right now. I need you to go play it like ASAP. Stop sitting here and watch this video. Go play Yakuza 0 and then go play 1, then go play 2, then go play 3, 4, 5, 6, and then Judgment. For the love of God, why are you still sitting here? Now that you're back from playing Yakuza 0 and all the Yakuzas, let's go to Kiwami. Kiwami is actually one of the greatest Yakuza games too. They took the engine from 0 and repurposed it for 1, and I love the engine in 0 and 1 so much. 2, Kiwami 2. Don't like the engine in this game very much. In fact, I would say it's a great game and everything, I'm not gonna lie, but the engine that they used, I don't like it. I don't like the engine. I hate the engine damn near. Like that ragdoll engine pisses me off. Same thing with 6. It has a ragdoll engine and it's pretty fun and everything, but I hate that ragdoll system. Yakuza 5. Yakuza 5 had the most playable characters, and I did like the playing the game. It's just certain parts of the game were so slow and boring. Honestly, you have to put it as an A tier because I didn't like playing as other characters. There's a specific character that I definitely didn't like playing as, and I will not go back. Yakuza 4 is actually a B tier. I didn't like the story as much as I did in 4, and I did have fun, but I wasn't too invested in the story. Yakuza 3 is a great game itself too, but to me it was also a C story. It starts off kind of bonkers, but then it goes right back to kind of nothing. It's still a great game. I do still recommend 3 and 4, but I kind of think these are a little bit of the low points in the series, even though you get to use multiple characters in 4 and 5. It's just I wasn't into it. Yakuza 2, this is the same as Kiwami 2, but not updated, so I'm going to put it there as S tier. Yakuza 1, same as Kiwami, great game. Final Fight Streetwise is terrible. Dragon's Dogma has issues, and I wish they made another one to improve upon it so they can fix them, because other than that, the game is just it's painfully average at best and terribly horrible at worst. The Force Unleashed could have been so much better than what it was. That I honestly have to put it right here at the D tier line. It could have been better than what it was, and I wish they kind of refined the formula a little bit. Dante's Inferno, I had to put that as D tier. It did remind me a lot of God of War, but I kind of still like the game enough. Mad World is crazy as hell, and I like the art style and everything on it, so I'm going to put that as a B tier, damn near almost C tier, but B tier because it was on a Wii, and a lot of people didn't get a chance to play it, and I wish a lot of people played it so it could have been sold out. Nightmare Before Christmas, the game, I believe that is C tier because it was okay. It wasn't great, but it was okay. Ninja Gaiden 2. Let's start with the Ninja Gaiden franchise from here. Ninja Gaiden is, I have to say, an S tier game, especially going back and playing like Black and everything. It's actually a really fun game. 110%. I like the exploration. I like everything about the game that made it itself. Ninja Gaiden 2, on the other hand, I like the game, but certain parts of the game is just a little bit too stupid for my take. Like some of the bosses and some of the things you have to deal with. I genuinely do like the game, but like that rip-off mechanic is just pretty dumb. Ninja Gaiden 3 is a terrible fucking game, and I don't know why it's even on this list. Like, I'd never want to play that game again. Bayonetta 2 literally took the first one and hyped it up to 11, from 10 to 11, and it remains one of the greatest games I've ever played. I will deal with the Devil May Cry series in a second. Wonderful 101, great game. You can tell that they had fun making it, and I have to say it is a B tier, especially playing it on the PlayStation 4 versus the original way it was intended to be played, and it's still pretty fun. Beautiful Joe is a great beat 'em up, and it is an S tier. It is an S tier game. So is Beautiful Joe 2. They both are great games, and I do like the music in part 2 a little bit more. In fact, I would have to put Beautiful Joe 2 as a triple S tier, because it kind of ends with one of the coolest boss fights in a beat 'em up that I've played so far. Vanquish I wish did more or got a lot more sales and everything, because I love this game, and I actually like the last boss and the ending to it very much, that I wish it got a sequel. So I have to put it as an A tier, damn near a high A tier. I have to put it right there because it is still a fun game to just romp through it. No More Heroes is so fucking good, especially back then. So I also have to put it as an A tier. Everything about the game was new and fresh at the time. Part 2, on the other hand, I did not like as much. Part 2 had so many frustrating moments and situations that I have to put that as a C tier. Even though, yes, you get 2 of them, I still like the game, and I still think it's a good game. It's just, I do say that I didn't like it as much. I would also get the Nier Automata later. What else do we have here? God of War, the original, S tier. The game, so goddamn good. In fact, the first 3 games, I'm honestly have to put them in a proper order here. The first game, it started off great, and it started off high leveled. Second game started off great and ended with one of the most coolest moments of all time. And the third game started off after 2 and then literally ended in one of the greatest boss fights of the generation, of PS3 to PS4. No boss fight in this is better than the God of War franchise. And if I was to readjust them, I wouldn't even readjust them to anything major. It'd be like this. In fact, I can honestly say that God of War 3 was the triple S tier of the God of War franchise. God of War, on the other hand, I'm going to have to say is a B tier. It is not better than the first one. It is not better than the second one, nor is it better than the third one. It's just a walking simulator disguised as a God of War game, and it literally starts off boring and ends fucking stupid. Bayonetta, the first one. Let's be honest, if you haven't played Bayonetta and you don't think it's a triple S tier type of game, then something is wrong with you. Anarchy Reigns was made by the same people who made Mad World, but as a fighting game brawler, and honestly, it was lacking a lot of stuff to me. So I have to honestly say that's a C tier type of game. I wish it was better than that. Shura's Wrath, a literal visual comic of things, but it was lacking in so much. But the visuals and everything was so great, but the gameplay part of it was the part where I was just like, they could have actually did better than this. God Hand. A lot of people did not like God Hand. People even put it as E or F tier, and I can honestly say without a shadow of a doubt that God Hand is a fucking good game, and I have to put it here. It's better than God of War, and they're compared. Trust me. You know, let me switch this to here and at least put this here. At least I can play this game. The bouncer is not really that great to play. Nier, the first one's pretty good. I'm going to put it as a B tier game, even though the Japanese version is the one that actually is canon versus the American one, which is the 360 one. But the playing the Japanese version, they're pretty much the same game. And I have to honestly say that, you know, Nier Automata or Nier PS3 is better, but Nier is still a good game and it's pretty fun to play. And very trippy. Nier Automata to me is one of my favorite games of that year that it came out, and I honestly have to put it on the top of my list of triple S tier games. That and Yakuza 0 were the reasons I bought PS4 when it came out on PS4. those games are very good to me. Oh man. Let me put you here so I can get this ready for it. Kingdom Hearts, the first one. Going back and play the first one, I honestly can say it's a B tier type of game. Seriously, it's a B tier. Literally, you can't skip cutscenes or anything like that. You have to watch everything. It's so fucking annoying. Kingdom Hearts 2, I remember when it was first announced and I was waiting for it, and it's literally the S tier of this franchise to me. Because everything about the game was so improved from the first one to the second one that I genuinely like the second one a little better here. The third one, as I straight up said, I don't like it. I like the game, but I don't like it at the same time, and they do need to improve on a lot of things for me to even get back into the game. But the graphics and everything do look good in the game, trust me. Moving to the franchise of franchises here. Devil May motherfucking cry. Let's start with Revengeance first. Metal Gear Revengeance was going up against DMC, and it won. And I like Metal Gear Revengeance, and I like the story that it takes place after 4. I like everything about this game. I haven't played it recently, but I'll probably go back and play that just for you guys. Devil May Cry 1 was the one that defined the franchise, and honestly, I have to say it's a triple S type of game. It's a very good game. Devil May Cry 2 is bad. It's Ninja Gaiden 3 bad. It's the Ninja Gaiden 3 of this game. It's an E tier type of game, and it doesn't need to be existent, and apparently it exists. Devil May Cry 3 is an S tier freaking game. Literally one of the greatest improvements in Devil May Cry history. It went from high to low to high again in a matter of minutes. Devil May Cry 4. I like 4. The gameplay of 4 is quite possibly one of the better games between the first 3, but that backtracking was not great. DMC. What can we say about DMC? A lot can be said about DMC. Everything about this game, from the story to the gameplay, is to me a watered down version of 4. So honestly, what makes this game good, I would have to say it's a C tier game, because it does have a lot of the gameplay to make it good, but it didn't take it to the definitive edition to make it a better game than what it was. Hence why Devil May Cry 4 to me is a better game, and that is one of the, and so it's not the best in the franchise. It would be 3, and of course there's Devil May Cry 5, which is the best fucking Devil May Cry game of all time. I'd have to put it right there next to Nier Automata, and if I was to make the list in a specific order, that's the order I would put these franchises in. This is a good order that I would put these franchises in, and literally say it's great. And that's it for Tier Maker Fridays this time. So this is for action games. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you have fun.